need some input from my community that we have built over the last 1.5 to 2 years. We are actively pursuing a podcast. It will be over on the YT, and we want to be able to release part of that on TikTok and Facebook and other platforms so that you can kind of keep up with the Ammans and our blessed chaos. I have recorded today while we're traveling some information to reintroduce ourselves. We have new followers, new friends. We're looking to build this platform more in the future so that we can learn from one another, take our expertise, share our stories. We have, as you will learn, children from trauma background. We are older parents. We are trying to live within a budget. Lots and lots of things. We love the Lord. We love having fun. We love music. We love food. We love. And so we're going to call it Called to Love. If you'll take 15 minutes out of your time, give a listen to this. Let us know some feedback. Constructive criticism is more than welcome. Subject matter suggestions are more than welcome. If you're interested and think that your life experiences kind of go with ours and we can walk hand in hand and maybe help some other people who are just walking through some area we've already gone through, we would love to hear from you. So here it is. Take a listen and let us know. You can leave comments here. You can contact me at sharon.aikman@gmail.com. It's spelled AIKMAN. And we'd love to hear from you. Thank you for listening and thanks for being here. Well, I didn't expect that our first podcast would be while we were traveling in our van with all the children, well, except one child. He stayed home with his big brother. And Chuck is driving. I'm going to show you him real quick, but he's going to keep eyes on the road. And we want to introduce ourselves. First of all, this is Called to Love. We are called to love scripturally. We are called to love as humans. We are called to love as our assignment, we believe. We are a large multicultural family. Chuck and I are both over 60. We had a 15-year journey through infertility before I adopted my first child in a previous marriage. Ended in divorce, shockingly, after all of that. And then when Chuck and I married, when my firstborn was 5 years old, we knew that we would adopt at least one more child. He felt like he had heard from the Lord that there was a little girl to come. You will be able to hear my children interacting during this podcast. We are in a 15-passenger van. It's a small space, and they are going to be who they are. And if you don't like background noise, let me apologize ahead of time because there's going to be some, right? We believe in letting them be children within boundaries of kindness and respect for others. So we're learning that. Kids aren't born with that innately, right? So as I said, Chuck and I are over 60. I'm Sharon. He's Chuck. Sorry. Our children are 6, 7, 8, 9, 13, not twins, 17, 24, and 25. So we have a very busy household. Of course, I have 2 young adults, but the 7 school agers at home range in academically from I've got a first grader, a second grader, a third grader, a fourth grader, 2 8th graders, and a senior in high school this year. So we're exploring what that looks like. We're looking at colleges with Lily, our senior. We are maneuvering the last year of middle school with Jazzy and Nathan, my 2 13-year-olds. My 4 youngest are a biological sibling group. That is Mia, Ian, Christopher, and Nevaeh. They all 4 are biracial, African American. Nathan is biracial Hispanic. And we love our life. It's crazy sometimes. It's blessed chaos. There is grumbling and fighting and fussing among the children, as you would expect. And we're trying to teach them how to have conflict resolution, share your space when you need to, how to put others first at times, and how to stand your ground when you need to. I mean, that's an important skill as well. So we love Jesus. We love each other. We love our community. We love education. We love learning new things. We love adventures. You'll find when we get an opportunity to travel for any reason almost, we'll take it. We enjoy academics. My children all of them do well in school. And we love cooking. So we really believe in faith, family, and food, honestly. So we're going to talk about all those. Chuck and I have been foster parents. I've been a CASA. I'm a retired registered nurse specializing in the field of hospice. Chuck is an IT manager. He's been in computer science for many, many years. And we have a little bit to say about all of that. We have children who have survived cancer, who have survived physical abuse, who have survived trauma, and are living with kids that come from a trauma background. And so we want to talk about those things. For infertility, that 15-year journey was the most difficult thing I've ever experienced, of course. And I feel like we have a lot to say about that. I've met a lot of people experiencing the same thing along the way. I have authored 3 books in the last 3 years. The first one is Childless No More. It recounts my 15-year journey through infertility, the way I became a Christian during that, how I had to stand on my faith and choose to believe or not believe, and how I weathered some really, really difficult days that go along with infertility, and we'll talk a lot about that. We then had a wonderful adoption story with Noah, and he's my oldest. He's 25. It was just really of biblical proportion how he came, and I love him dearly. He is a different personality than the rest. They are all different personalities in each other. He's introverted, and he's a big thinker, and stays to himself. He's 100%. I don't want to call him a mama's boy, but he and mama we're tight. He's salve to my soul. He's my first baby. And so we adopted his biological half-sister 15 years later when she was 15. And then next came Lily, who was a severe shaken baby and had lots and lots of challenges. And she's a walking, talking, breathing miracle. She's my senior in high school. Little Nathan came to us from an HIV positive mother. And we didn't know when he came if he would be HIV positive or not. Praise God, he did not convert to HIV. She did everything she was supposed to do to protect him when he was in the womb and after he was first born, and I will always be grateful to her for that. Little Jazzy came to us with childhood cancer. The first 2 years she was with us were terrific. Maneuvering those waters, had a lot of scary days, and a lot of days in the hospital overnight where one of us had to be in the hospital with Jazzy while the other parent was home with the rest of the kids. Christopher, I need you to turn around, please. You're in a car. You have to be safe. Send the seatbelt and turned around. It's amazing how that happens. So we know a lot about leukemia, having a sick child, having the challenges that come with that, with other children at home. We learned some things that you have to help with the other children who aren't experiencing illness. So that's a whole subject we can talk about from what our experience is and was. And then after that, we fostered babies who we could help with their physical needs, and then hopefully get them back to their family of origin, because anytime a child is removed from the home, no matter the circumstance, it is always the initial goal to reunify. And you want to work hard to do that, you know, and if at all possible. Just because it doesn't look like your house looks, or your faith or your belief system, doesn't mean they can't be safe and grow up in a different way and stay with their family of origin. And that's very important for us to always keep that at the forefront of our mind. Obviously, if the child is in danger, neglected, abused, not safe, that's a different story, right? And even sometimes we can really work with that through education and resources and help ease some of those circumstances and still get our child back home. So that's another subject. I was a CASA, so I've been a court-appointed special advocate for children and maneuvered the waters of being the voice for children that weren't in my home. And so we can talk about that. And that's a volunteer service that if you're looking for some way to volunteer, that's a wonderful way. So as I said, we took sick children in to rehab and to get them home. And we took a baby straight from the NICU, the neonatal intensive care unit. She had been there 3 months since her birth, born at 26 weeks gestation in a bathtub. And all my children, I'm not telling information that they won't allow me to share. I talk openly with my children about these things. So obviously I want to protect them and protect their dignity and protect their stories as they are their stories to tell. And obviously part of our stories overlap, and that's my story. So we maneuver that water, and we can talk about that. Anyway, she had other siblings, and as time went on and wasn't going to be able to reunify, and the other children were spread across 2 different foster homes. They weren't together, and it came time that parental rights were going to be terminated. It was either we moved them all in with us to keep them together, or they were going to be adopted out separately, and that was not, that could not happen. They needed to stay together. So I left my nursing career early and became a stay-at-home mom to raise these 4 children, plus the other 3 that were still at home. So we're doing that. We're living a busy life over here. We are very thrifty with grocery shopping and cooking and using leftovers and looking for coupons and sales and deals. We have a child's gently used resale clothing store that we almost have a revolving door there. As quick as mine outgrow it, I take it there, resell it, just put that money on my account and go in and get what I need when I need it. And just ways to maneuver the cost of living in the United States, right? With a large family, we openly welcome suggestions and tips and hints of what you do, how you cook, how you stretch your food dollars, how you stretch your clothing budget, how you spend time without spending money and make it interesting for the kids, how you can make any day a holiday. I started to say I'd written 3 books. My first one was Childless No More. It's on Amazon. I have since published 2 cookbooks, and I'm working on a 3rd. My cookbooks are designed for the everyday cook. No special fancy ingredients. It's regular down-home cooking food. I tell you how I serve it, how you can maybe make it low carb or high protein or gluten-free if that's something that can be done to that recipe, what you might do with leftovers, how you can make something at home rather than buy it at the store and save costs. I want you to be able to cook from your pantry, not have to go on a wild goose chase to find 1 or 2 ingredients, pay a high price for them. It's not something you typically buy. You're going to use it for 1 recipe and put it in your pantry until it expires and throw it away in a couple years. I don't want to do that. So it's everyday cooking, practical crock pot shortcuts, recipes that were my mama's, my sister's, my grandma's, all of that's in there. Things that I have entered in recipe contests, different things like that. And there are a lot of good recipes in there, and every recipe has a photograph, which I like. I want to see what it's supposed to look like to see if I nail it or if I miss, right? So those are available in the TikTok shop. They're available on Amazon. One of the 2 cookbooks is, and you just Google my name, Sharon K. Aikman, and the first one is called Putting the K in Kitchen. The second one is called Everyday Cooking with Sharon K. So there you go. And we are going to cover a lot of subjects. We are going to have at least once a month where you can call in, that we can talk live, and we welcome suggestions on topics. We want to do that. And we're looking to put a podcast out once a week. Right now we're on a family working trip sort of to Alabama. We live in southern Indiana. We're dropping my daughter off to one of her very best friends. They were best friends in 2nd and 3rd grade. They moved away from Indiana, and we've maintained their relationship. We take her down to Alabama a couple times a year. There's a church event down there, and their home church that she goes to once a year, and that's going on now. So we're going to deliver her in time to do that. And then I have another content creator who loves Jesus, family, and food as much as I do. We've become good friends. Our families have become friends. And we're going to go down in southern Alabama and hang out for a couple days with our friend Kason Adams and do some cooking. We're going to do regional cooking. Miss Mia! Anyway, we are going to do regional cooking. I had to stop the camera and referee the disagreement behind me. It's just going to happen. Real life happens here. You'll hear me say that a lot. We're going to do regional cooking. Kason is going to do some southern cooking. I am going to do some Midwestern or Northern cooking, and we're going to treat each other and our families to some different cuisine, and I'm so excited. Somebody said, what are you going to Alabama for? I said, to gain weight, I guess. But it's going to be fun. That's another thing. I'm on a weight loss journey. More than that, a health journey. I've lost between 40 and 50 pounds. Depends on the day and depends on the scale. Over the last about 2 years, I need to really kick it in high gear and make some more progress, and I intend to do that. The kids go back to school in a couple of weeks, and I say, all summer long, there's one meal a day. It starts about 10 minutes after their feet hit the ground, and it doesn't stop until they're in their bed snoring at night. I'm not kidding. That's just munch, munch, munch all day. Now, even though there's 3 meals and snacks, there's still other than that. Anyway, we will talk about health, journey, Jesus, family, recipes, budgeting. I've got some guests that are going to come along the way on some subjects, and we'd like to hear from you. What would you like to know about us? What would you like to hear us talk about? What would you like more information on? Would you like to be a guest or provide some information on something you know about that maybe we need more education on? I don't know. So you can always direct message us, leave a comment here, and my email is sharon.aikman, AIKMAN, @gmail.com. You can contact me there anytime, and we hope that you'll come back and listen to our podcast and visit with us and hang out and get to know this blessed chaos.